how to create a new project or a new survey and test it out. So let's click on create a new project on the lower left hand side of Qualtrics. It's going to show you three choices: survey, dashboards, or imported audio and video. Let's click on survey because we want to create a survey. Then in the lower right hand corner it says get started. It's a title page where you can create your title. New survey. Okay, so let's name this new survey. Let's leave create a blank survey project as it is and click on create project. Now we have our survey. So it says new survey. This is the title that we've given it when we created it. So you can always change this if you want to change it. Okay. And we want to put in first consent. Okay, so we want a consent form and we want the participant to choose whether they agree to it or not so they can proceed to the survey or not. So instead of Q1, we are going to write C or consent. So we can delete this question, the default question for now, and add a new question. We want to select text or graphic, so we can put in some items for the consent here. So we can say C, which means consent, and then we can put in the text for the consent form here. You can copy and paste it from your consent form, so you can put that in there. The next step is to add another question. So click on add new question, but this time you select multiple choice. The multiple choice question now is going to ask whether the participant agrees or not. So Qualtrics is going to give you sometimes some choices, but you can always override those. So we can say yes, I agree, and second, no, I don't agree. We can just remove all of the other ones. So click on the questions that you don't need and remove them. Remove choice, it says here. Remove choice. And click ones that you don't need and remove them. There you go. So now we have asked the participant whether they agree to the above or not. Then let's add a new item, which is the choice or the statement that will display if the participant does not agree. So let's click add new question and click on text or graphic, and we can put the code R or reject. Okay, so if they reject the consent, then we can say something like please contact the researcher at, or something like that. So whichever one that you want to include, put in for the reject response. Now we're going to add a new block, so that if we're going to call this the survey block. Okay, so we're going to add the new block, and that's going to be called the survey block. And in this survey block, we're going to add the first question. So because this is already the survey block, the code that we can put here on the code section, so the code part can be S or S1, because this is our first survey question. So this is the very first question that we're going to ask the participant if they agree to the consent. We can choose to add more questions if we want. So S2. Then we can write the second survey question. So that's our second survey question. So now what are we going to do? We have to put in a logic for the questions in order for the participant to be directed to the right section depending on their answer to this question. So we're not going to put the logic on C2, but we're going to put it on reject. So as you can see on this page, on the right-hand side, the bigger part is where the questions are going to display. But on the left-hand side, on the smaller column, we will see the settings for the questions that we select on the right side. So if we select the reject answer here, it's going to show us these settings. So let's click on question behavior, display logic, and select a question. The question that we will select is, do you agree to the above? Because that is the choice that we want to know. So if they don't agree, okay, so you click on no, I don't agree, then you click on save. So that means if the participant does not agree, then please contact the researcher at will be displayed on their screen. Now let's click this first question in the survey block. We want the participant to be able to answer these questions when they agree. So let's click on this, and now we are getting some settings on the left-hand side of this. Let's go to question behavior, display logic, and select the question, do you agree to the above? But now let's select the choice, yes, I agree, because you want this question to display if the participant agrees. Now let's click on save. So now we have this display logic attached to our S1 question. Do you agree to the above? Yes, I agree is selected. Now we can test the survey by clicking on preview. So let's on the preview page, we will be given two views. It's going to show us very helpfully how the participant can see on the right-hand side what it looks like on a mobile device or on a phone, and on the left-hand side what it looks like on a computer. So let's pretend that we are the participant. Now we can see the consent form text. We can read it, and we are going to scroll down. Let's imagine that we scroll down and we saw, do you agree to the above? And if the participant says, yes, I agree, then we can click on yes, I agree. So let's click on yes, I agree. And you can see here on the bottom is the next button. It's the blue button here, and we'll click it. Now we are directed to the first survey question and the second survey question. So let's click our choices on the questions and click on next. So that's also what's going to show here on the right-hand side. We can see here what it looks like on their mobile device. So let's click on next. And we are directed to the thank you page. So it's a success. Now we can restart the survey, and let's see what happens if we chose no, I don't agree. So we'll go back to consent form text, and we will be asked whether we agree to the above, and we select no, I don't agree, and we click next. Then we are given please contact the researcher at, and click next. Have the survey created, then we want to be able to share this. I've shown you how to preview it, but now you can click on publish so that you can get a publish link. You can have someone use it. You can change the title or the description here for your version history. So let's just say this is our version 1 and publish. You can click on copy link, so if you want to share this link. So it says that your survey has been successfully published, and now you can distribute it using the anonymous link below.